Good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to our presentation on the legal implications of autonomy in AI-driven boardrooms at the SAILS conference on law and AI. My name is Hera Drucker, and I'm currently paralegal at the Legal and Public Affairs consultancy agency Considerati and a student at the Advanced LLM in Law and Digital Technologies at Leiden University. And for today's presentation, I am joined by my colleague, Professor Eduard Vos-Vilaronga, who will be representing us for this presentation in person today. Unfortunately, I will not be able to attend this conference in person, but I wanted to say a huge thank you for the opportunity to have worked with all the authors of this book and to have read all of the amazing chapters they have written. And I hope to enjoy this conference from afar and to hopefully meet all of the authors soon in the near future. Now, on the program for our presentation today, we will delve deeper into the topics of robotics and autonomy in the boardroom context and provide a short introduction to the role of autonomy levels and responsibility in this regard. But first, some background information. In 2014, the venture capital firm Deep Knowledge Ventures appointed an algorithm to its board of directors and named it Validating Investment Tool for Advancing Life Sciences, or in other words, VITAL. VITAL was a so-called robo-director that was given the right to vote on business investment decisions, just like the other human board members of the company. It was appointed due to its ability to automate due diligence and use historical data sets to uncover trends that are not immediately obvious to humans surveying top-line data. As such, VITAL was attributed the role of assisting Deep Knowledge Ventures in approving investment decisions and crediting it with preventing the fund from going under due to excessive investments in overvalued projects. Moreover, due to increases in the quality of data available and further diversification of data sources, the algorithm was later replaced by a much more intelligent VITAL 2.0, which integrated data from scientific literature, grants, patent applications, and even biographies of individual team members of companies in which the company was interested. Yet despite its impressive track record and its reputation as the world's first AI company director, VITAL was not granted an equal vote on the board, and legally speaking, it did not acquire the status of a corporate director under the corporate laws of, in this particular case, Hong Kong. Now, though the scale of development of autonomous AI-driven directors has so far remained relatively limited and so-called robo-boards do not exist yet, AI-based technologies are playing an increasingly important role within corporations and their boards, significantly impacting the corporate governance process and its outcomes. This is because business decisions increasingly require the weighing of numerous and complex sets of data, and AI technologies can play a central role in management decisions based on such data across many business sectors. However, while inserting AI into the board of directors is not straightforward from a legal perspective, this has not been a topic of interest before, and has only become a topic that has gained increasing interest in recent times, and that is because, or the reason why it is not straightforward from a legal perspective, to insert AI into the board of directors, is because legal strategies to regulate, steer, and control corporate governance, as envisioned within corporate laws, are tailored to human decision makers and not to artificial agents. Moreover, AI's increased autonomy levels and complex interaction with humans blur the roles and responsibilities within the boardroom context. As such, advances in this area will increasingly affect our understanding of the concepts of corporate directorship, and within that also legal personhood, and also responsibility. Yet while the pace of technology dramatically accelerates, and this is definitely not new, understanding the implications of technology does not follow suit. The deployment of AI within the boardroom context challenges existing legal frameworks that regulate corporations and corporate conduct, and calls for lawyers, regulators, and also legal scholars to clarify whether and how existing legal rules can apply to these fundamentally new technological phenomena, or whether new regulations will have to be developed. As the capabilities of AI increase, the use of AI within the corporate governance and decision-making context is expected to shift from being merely assistive to serving as an augmentative decision support tool, and finally to conforming to the stage of a fully autonomous board of directors. Here, the term autonomy refers to the quality or state of self-governing. In this sense, the term AI autonomy refers to an AI's capability to execute specific tasks based on its current functions without human intervention. Different levels of autonomy can be distinguished, which define the system's progressive ability to perform particular functions independently. These ascending levels of autonomy constitute a fundamental aspect of contemporary machine intelligence, as until not long ago, automated processes were not possible and played a determining role in allocating responsibility if something goes wrong. And of course, as we head towards the future, there will therefore also be a growing necessity for current legal frameworks to be thoroughly re-examined, clarified, and also where necessary, amended to prevent any potential adverse implications of the introduction of increasingly autonomous AI on the board of directors. Now, establishing levels for autonomy could be valuable in this regard. Yet, while the Society of Automotive Engineers has established automation levels for automobiles by the standard SAE 3016, there are no universal standards that define the levels of autonomy for AI used within corporate governance. A similar finding was made within the domain of healthcare, where Young and his colleagues proposed a generic 6-layered model for medical robots' autonomy levels, depicting a spectrum ranging from no autonomy, which was level 0, to full autonomy, which is level 5, to bridge this gap. Although this is a significant step in investigating the different levels of automation outside the automotive industry, we argued in an article together with Eduard Barth and another colleague that this model needed more detailing on how it applies to specific types of medical robots, thereby introducing a revised model explicitly tailored to the autonomy levels for surgery robots. Similarly, to address the potential responsibility gap that may arise following the deployment of AI systems on the board of directors and inform the global regulatory landscape in this regard, we believe that a fundamental understanding of autonomy levels and the resulting interplay between human board directors and AI is of fundamental importance. Now, in our work, we use the early established levels of synergic intelligence as a basis to establish a 6-layered model depicting the levels of autonomy for AI deployed within corporate governance and decision-making, namely no autonomy level 0, which is added to the 5 levels of synergic intelligence to provide a starting point for the determination of autonomy. Secondly, assistance, which is level 1, augmentation level 2, amplification level 3, high autonomy level 4, and finally full autonomy level 5, which all differ based on the allocation of decision rights between human and machine, and which have implications along with the 3 essential functions, which is control, supervision, co-creation or co-direction, and support, coaching, and decision types of the board. Based on the 6-layered model, the transitioning levels of autonomy for AI used within corporate governance and decision-making can be categorized as either supportive, collaborative, or substitutive. The difference between these categories essentially revolves around the AI's autonomy level, the degree of support provided by the AI system during the execution of the decision-making tasks, and the control exercised by the human director. While the shift towards more autonomous boardrooms may seem to indicate that we are gearing towards corporate governance and decision-making free from any human intervention, which seems to be the case as we look at this figure and we hear about the emergence of robo-directors, we believe that this is not at all the case. On the contrary, until AI reaches levels of intelligence and empathy equal to that of humans, humans will remain in the loop and maintain an integral and crucial role within the boardroom environment in the form of either performance or oversight. In practice, with the increased levels of autonomy of AI in the board of directors, the human role in the decision-making process is moving progressively to tasks which are overseeing in nature. On the contrary, with increased levels of autonomy, AI increasingly has other capacities, mainly oversight and decision-making powers, that grow in parallel to the original information processing capabilities typically attributed to AI systems. In theory, it thus seems that human directors will maintain a position of oversight until the most autonomous and sophisticated AI systems have reached the boardroom. Turning to the above example of Vital, which we gave at the start of this presentation, while the AI system deployed by Deep Knowledge Ventures was highly autonomous in nature, this did not mean that the human board directors were eliminated from the corporate governance and decision-making process. On the contrary, the board of Deep Knowledge Ventures agreed not to make any positive investment decisions without corroboration by Vital, indicating that increasingly autonomous AI is relied upon to make independent decisions. But until AI reaches or surpasses human levels of cognitive and emotional intelligence, this will not be without human oversight to ensure such decisions are in line with the corporation's goals and its ultimate objectives. Now, we believe that this nuance is essential to avoid ascribing responsibility to the AI system or extending this, which the literature has repeatedly highlighted as a legitimate course of action in complex technological ecosystems to ensure that we do not end up having technology in place without human responsibility. Especially as corporations become more powerful and their decisions and actions continue to affect the lives of many people across the globe significantly, it is necessary to establish a sound regulatory framework for the use of increasingly autonomous AI in the boardroom with clear responsibilities. Now, with that, we would like to conclude our presentation, though of course there's way more that we can say about this topic, and the last word has certainly not been said. However, we want to thank you for now for your attention, and we also very much look forward to further discussing this topic during the Q&A in the next 5 minutes. Thank you for listening.